Hey, I wanted to come live yesterday, but I ended up getting tied up with our big party we had yesterday. So I'm live today, but next week I will be live on Thursday with the neighborhood updates that I had promised we talked about on our Tuesday live. So if you're tuning in live, make sure to comment below to find out about a neighborhood. I've been doing these updates on Tuesday to let you know about Edmonton and surrounding areas, how they're doing, but every neighborhood is different in regards to how they're performing. So if you look at a certain specific area in their sold active listings and their trends, it's going to be different than Edmonton as a whole. Edmonton's quite large, and we do focus on single families on Tuesdays, and we're still focusing on single families on Fridays. We're just going to look at specific neighborhoods. So in the comments, I did have somebody ask about Jensen Lakes. So Jensen Lakes is a neighborhood in St. Albert, and they wanted to know about the market activity. Now, Jensen Lakes is a more expensive area. I'm going to share my screen with you, and let's go take a look at Jensen Lakes. So I'm sharing you the back end of our realtor portal. So I'm going to look at just the sold properties in Jensen Lakes in the last 60 days. So if we look at the last 60 days, you'll be able to see kind of what's going on in the market. So there was 10 properties that sold in the last 60 days. And they range from 419,000 as a low all the way to $1.24 million. The average price point in Jensen is $599, which is, like I said, it's a more expensive area in Edmonton, in St. Albert. And you can get anything there from a townhouse that's half duplex for like 600,000 and higher. Now, the trends in Jensen Lakes has always stayed pretty consistent and continues to go upwards. It's not going to go downwards. Now, another neighborhood that I was asked about was Griesbach. Now, if you're watching live, if you comment about a neighborhood you want to know about, then I will be able to see that in the comments and we can bring it up right away. So Griesbach in Edmonton, it's North Edmonton. So if you're not familiar with Edmonton, let me just show you where Griesbach is. It's a North Edmonton neighborhood. It's the old army barracks. The surrounding areas are not as expensive, but for some reason, this area is more costly. And if we just look out and zoom, you'll see there's the Anthony Henday. Here's the Yellowhead. And you'll see where it is in respects to center of the city and down to the airport. There's Griesbach right there. Griesbach has 9 houses that sold in the last 60 days. So similar to Jensen Lakes, low of $315,000 to $640,000. And so you can kind of see the average days on market here is about 85. You can see how some of them have 113, some of them are higher. So not a whole lot there. And then let's just take a look at what's for sale for single families right now. So actively, we've got 17 properties for sale. And they range from 396,000 to 929,000. So you can see there's quite the range. There are 2-story homes, 1,300 square feet. The year built anywhere from 2010, 2022, 2007 is one of the older ones. But the rest you've got even 2023 at 664. So that's what's going on in Griesbach. Another neighborhood I've been asked about is also Secord. So take a look at Secord in Edmonton. So that's West Edmonton. And those are the newer areas as well. So 60 days back, let's just take a look at that. Actually said 65 listings. 21 properties sell or sold in the last 60 days. And you can see 342 to 585 for high price. That's the highest. Average 478. Secord is in the West End to show you that as well. So here's Secord, the very tip of West Edmonton. So Spruce Grove is just around right there. Well, Ashton's there. Spruce Grove's right over here. This drive, by the way, from here to here is all of 10 to 15 minutes. It might look long, but it's not. And if you just keep zooming out, you'll see there's Secord here, center of Edmonton, and then the airport down below. So the activity there, it has slowed down. When we had the peak, things were moving quite quickly in Secord. And you can see the age of the homes were 2011, 2022, 2018, 2010. Lots of range there. But again, the oldest one is probably 2015. The neighborhood itself, 2010. The neighborhood itself is not that old, so you're not going to find too old of homes. 2010 is about 13 years old, and you can see the price point range as well. When you're looking at an average, it just means the average of what has sold. Doesn't mean that the average home sells for that amount of money. It just depends on what you're looking for. So if you take a look at the highest price point, 1,900 square feet with a fully finished basement. A lot of these don't have finished basements, the 2,000 square feet ones. So if you're looking for an unfinished basement, 2,000 square feet, 556 to 569 is the average cost. These two were higher, or sorry, higher days on market, probably started higher in price. This one was on the market for 3 days. So it was up and down pretty quick. And these are brand new builds as well, built in 2023. So the older 2018 sold for 545 with a fully finished basement. So you can see houses with that are older usually tend to sell for a little bit less than the newer homes. Now on Tuesdays, we look at, what's going on last 7 days. So 7 days back, there was only 2 sales. And if we look at the same time frame, I just want to do custom. We look at the same time frame of last week or last year at this time. So November 17th, so 10th to 17th. C-Cord. That's not right. It says 164 properties sold in that. Oh, because I put 2023. There we go. So we also had 2. So they're about the same in the last week. Year to date and year over year is the same in C-Cord activity. 2 properties, not a whole lot, but in the month of November, if we just go back, let's say to October 17th, so we do let's approximate 30 days. He had 8 properties sell in last year at this time. And then this year, we had 8. So quite a bit less this year selling than last year. Just shows you this neighborhood specifically in C-Cord. Now, if we take a look at Laurier Heights, which, for example, is a very hot neighborhood typically, no matter what the market is, you take a look, they had 6 properties sell in the last year, this year, in the last month. But if we go ahead and change it to last year, we had 2. So now the sold in Laurier Heights has nothing to do with the fact that, nothing's selling there. You hardly have a chance to sell in Laurier Heights. So how do we find that out? If you take a look at the expired listings, so listings that didn't sell, that came on the market, if we take a look at the last 6 months, you had 21 in the last 6 months. But if you take a look at a custom amount, and we just take a look at last year at this time, so let's say 6 months is May 17th to November 17th, 2022. And then November 2022. Just have a little bit of a technical malfunction. That's 19. So you can kind of see the difference between different areas and different areas and different sold properties, right? It's not always going to be the same. Now, McLaughlin is in Spruce Grove. It's one of the communities in Spruce Grove, and I wanted to show you that neighborhood because Spruce Grove and Edmonton are different, right? And I talk about Spruce Grove in our Tuesday updates because it is an affordable neighborhood, and it's just west of Edmonton, so it's pretty close. And depending on where in Spruce Grove you are going to go, you have a bit more driving, obviously, to do. But let's just take a look at McLaughlin in Spruce. So in the last 7 days, you had 1 property sell. If you go back 60 days, we had 5. So not a ton going on there, but what is happening for sold prices? The low price point is 305 and the highest is 499. And look at the house you're getting, 2,100 square feet with an unfinished basement built in 2022 for 499, or 477 for a house built in 2023, 1,991 square feet. So definitely more affordable when you're looking at, we just looked at Jensen Lakes and Griesbach and C-Cord. Spruce Grove is going to be a lot more affordable than other areas. Now, Hamptons, I wanted to show you as well. They are a neighborhood that is a West End neighborhood. It's a bit older of an area. When I say older, I'm only talking about 20 to 30 years. They have 16 properties that sold in the last 60 days. Let me show you what you get for your money there. So there it is 332 to 775. So you can see the price points have expanded, but also you're getting different homes and you can see the different year built. So for 470, 2007 built, it's only 1,430 square feet with a finished basement. 2009, right? So different kind of like, I'm not going into detail of all the houses. We usually do that when we're doing a buyer consult, but this is just to give you a general overview of what's happening. I also want to show you, what was the other area I wanted to show you? All right, let's just go back out here. If we take a look in an older neighborhood, like Linwood, for example. Now, when I say older, this is like 1950s built homes. We had 5 houses sell in the last 60 days. Keep in mind, this is November, October. It's like a slower market. If you take a look at what's sold in Linwood here, these are mostly bungalows, all bungalows, which is 1-story houses, different homes, low of 315 to 442 high. So if you were watching earlier, you can see that the house prices were 2 stories and the price points went up to 700, over $1 million. This is like max 442. Some of these will have renovations and some won't. These are smaller as well, 1,000 square feet, just over 1,000. And then these ones are 12, the bigger ones, 1,200, built in 1959 and 1962. So if you're looking for a house in this price point, 100% you can get that in these areas and an actual house, but they are going to be older homes. So they come with different things, right? The newer homes, this price point, you're going to get a much smaller place, right? These are bungalows. And let me just go show you again. If we looked in the same price point of 350 to 430 in the Hamptons, you would have gotten, you see this? It's a half duplex, a 2-story. That's a half duplex, a single front attached garage, front attached garage. So these are all duplexes that are 1,100, 1,200 square feet on 2 stories. Bungalows are on 1 story. And then up to 420, you're getting, this is now getting into like, that's also a dude. This must be in a 2005 fully finished basement. I think this looks like an anomaly where it's an actual house. The rest of these are now duplexes again. So you can see that there's different price points in different areas. I'm excited to keep doing this each week. So make sure you comment below and we'll talk about the community you're interested in next week. And we'll meet every single week and let you know how things are going and how things are trending. If you're thinking about moving in that area, or if you're thinking of selling your home in that area, you need to know the value and where it's trending at and how quickly things are moving. Just comment below.